I'm going to show you an exercise for doubles that will enable you to take your doubles to the highest possible level. And it just basically goes like this. So you're just accenting the second stroke with a lot of power. This is a muscle building exercise. You're not going to be doing doubles this way. It's just... But there's a lot going on here that I had to explain so that you can do the same thing that I'm doing. But the sound, when you're exercising, it should be where the second one is always a lot louder, and where you're actually trying to muscle out that second one with a nice powerful wrist snap. So it's 2 wrist strokes. So it can look like I'm doing finger control here. Just real quick, I got to pause the recording for something. So it can look like I'm doing some sort of finger control thing, but it's just 2 wrist strokes. But there's a lot going on with the grip and some other things, like I said, so I'll just show you something that's kind of unusual, but it'll help you get to this grip very quickly. And it's just a matter of flipping your stick. And just keep going until it's pretty consistent, where you're always catching it pretty much the same way, where you get pretty good at it, you know? Don't squeeze the stick, ever, for anything. But don't let your fingers become relaxed either. It's just... So now I'm kind of getting into stuff that works for everything, but... So your wrist has to be able to, and it's basically like if you're going to do it one-handed, like I'm doing it, then it can feel like and it can sound like you're just trying to do a shuffle riding pattern, you know. But the reason the fingers unbend like that and then bend again is, for a gentle wrist stroke, they can be unbent in the French grip position. And this is and you have to be palm sideways for doubles. You can't get good doubles palm down. It's just not going to work. A lot of drummers will argue that you can get great doubles this way, but it's even easier to get great doubles this way. And with enough time spent exercising this every single day, after a few weeks, or maybe a month and a half or so, you'll start to see some real progress. And I'll try to explain what that looks like. But before I do, I need to finish what I was talking about with the wrist strokes here. We got the more gentle type of wrist stroke, which lets the fingers unbend. And then there's a more powerful wrist stroke, which kind of looks like that. But the goal is just to get the stick to kind of go like this, so that your wrist is being exercised properly. And try to do this, back and forth between the hands in a way where it'll sound in very slow motion. It can sound like this. Where the second one is always accented. It can be, where the notes are evenly spaced, even though per hand you're kind of doing a shuffle thing. And you can kind of somewhat think of using the index finger fulcrum here a little bit, but don't squeeze. Just let the fingers, let the hand, let everything work naturally, which is why you want to and also don't be too close to the butt end of the stick in either hand, but don't be too far away from it either. And this goes for everything. So I'm giving a lot of general advice here too for just playing everything. That's part of the reason why. You get more help from rebound because you're getting a better use of physics by being at this sweet spot. Sorry about that noise. I must be hungry. But it's critically important. Otherwise, you're going to be working a little harder. You don't want to work against physics, and you don't want to work against yourself either. Working against yourself happens when you start squeezing the stick. Or sticks, Right now I'm one-handed, so I'm more inclined to be using singular nouns, but so don't squeeze and don't let your fingers be relaxed, and then you can do this exercise with even less effort. So it's kind of like a wrist bounce and then a snap with the wrist. And once you get this going to the point where you're doing it consistently, then you're doing it in a way that you can use for exercising very efficiently to get the best possible results. And after a few weeks or maybe a month or so, you'll see some real development, which is what I was going to get to talking about next. And that starts to look like this, where instead of it always looking like this from overhead, it starts to take on this turn a little bit. When it starts to turn like that, that's when you're starting to really get this to a point where you can eventually reach a point where, whoops, it's been a while since I've done this. I kind of dragged one a little bit. But it eventually goes from doing the exercise to doing the technique for doubles that works best. And then it starts to feel effortless, and it starts to feel like it's just one stroke. Now, you can prevent this turn, but you have to think about it, and it's going to increase the effort. but it can be done. But when I just let it be what it's going to be, then it just makes my hand turn. Now, the reason for this turn is the benefit of this exercise enables your doubles to be where both strokes are the same volume. So in slow motion, your doubles can end up being like this, or they can sound like this in slow motion, for the most part, instead of so with the more traditional way of doing doubles, I guess we can call it that way. The first stroke is always going to be accented no matter what you do. But if you work on this exercise hard enough, you can actually get to a point where you can freely accent the second stroke if you want, which is kind of nice because you can either choose to accent it obviously, or you can use that to help you do inverted doubles with less effort, which means that you're feeling the second stroke as your downbeat instead of the first. So being able to feel the accent, so when you can feel the second stroke so powerfully, you can change your perspective, so to speak. So instead of the right hand and the left hand going like this, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and it can be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Or eighth notes if you're going fast enough, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now, so yeah, that's inverted doubles. So, and whether you accent the second stroke audibly, that's your musical choice. That's your creative choice. That's your, whatever sounds best. So anyway, yeah, muscle development, and the stronger your muscles get, the easier things will be, If you don't believe me that this is how it works, then there are a couple of videos I want you to check out, and they're very short. So I'm going to pause the recording here to make sure I get the titles of these videos correct. All right, so the first video that came to my mind to recommend you watch is it's a clip from a Drumeo lesson that Thomas Lang did, and the clip is about 1 minute and 54 seconds long. It's on someone else's YouTube channel. It's not on Drumeo's channel, but the title is Thomas Lang on how to do a clean double stroke roll. So again, it's called Thomas Lang on how to develop develop. Shoot. Got it wrong anyway, didn't I? So Thomas Lang on how to Thomas Lang on how to develop a clean double stroke roll. And during the lesson, he teaches a lot of stuff just on the hi-hats. And he tells you what happens if you do this exercise versus what happens if you don't. And during the entire lesson, for the most part, he's using traditional grip. Again, for the most part, but so you'll have to watch his right hand the most if you're playing with matched grip. But during the lesson, the part of the lesson where he's talking about this on the hi-hats, he shows what happens if you don't do this exercise and versus if you do. And when he talked about if you don't use this exercise, you'll get doubles to happen where, and he never mentioned the hand turn. But his hand did not turn when he was doing really nice doubles on his hi-hats with the approach of not accenting the second stroke. I can't quite do it the way he did it, but with his demonstration of what happens if you do exercise with this accenting the second stroke concept, when he demonstrated it, his hand was turning. And then he did doubles all around the kit, and the shot was from overhead, so you could easily see his right hand was turning. If I recall, I think he did this with traditional grip, but in the thumbnail here, he's using matched. So anyway, it's been a while since I've actually watched the video, but I could have just watched it. But the important thing is that you watch it. And the other video is a clip from Dave Weckel's instructional video called How to Develop Technique. So the title of that video, and these are on YouTube, by the way. The title of this video is Dave Weckel Drum Clinic, So Dave Weckel Drum Clinic, double stroke roll, ampersand for and, one-handed roll. So one more time, Dave Weckel Drum Clinic, double stroke roll and one-handed roll. The first 2 minutes is what you need to see. So yeah, all in all, you'll be spending about 2 minutes watching, or 4 minutes rather, watching 2 different videos. And you'll see that when Dave does the lesson, he mentions the turn, but it sounds to me like he thinks that you have to work on it, or maybe like he forgot that this starts to happen naturally as you're exercising this exercise, as you're doing this exercise. Because he's looking down at his hands, and he looks at his right hand, and then he looks up at the camera and he goes, and the hand turns outward. But it happens naturally. And the reason for it, though, is to get both strokes to be the same volume in both positions, you don't need as much effort when you're in this position to get the same volume in this position, which requires more effort because the wrist works more efficiently this way. It was distracting me, so I had to move it. It got in the shot. Oh, noes. But that's why, that's why this starts to happen. Because you're putting so much effort and you're trying to get your body to get that second stroke to be really powerful. And then eventually your muscles get strong enough that you're able to relax, and pretty soon you're realizing that it is easy. And when the hand does this turn, the second stroke is kind of a part of the entire motion. It's like one motion with rebound. Without rebound, it's different. But well, if you're Thomas Lang, you don't need rebound to get the same. As you'll see when he demonstrates this, on his hi-hats, his hand still turns. It's like, that's not fair. But he worked his butt off on it, so you're gonna get what you get. You're gonna get what you put into it. But in a moment, I'm gonna go to the mattress and do doubles on that, but with my hand. So it's turning to get both strokes to be the same volume, because the muscles have gotten strong enough that there's a relaxation that takes place. It's more comfortable or something. I don't know. It's just one day I was just like, oh, I don't have to do the exercise anymore. Now I can just do this thing. So a day came to me where I was still really muscling it out. And then I went, oh, okay. Muscles have become strong enough now. But doubles don't require rebound in order to execute good doubles. You can go faster when you have rebound, but when you don't, you have to get the stick into position for the second stroke yourself. So almost no rebound. I'm not where I used to be on this, but it's still kind of there. So it's kind of like anything else. If you don't use it, you lose it. So that's my fault, but whatever. So be it. So I have to do both of those strokes myself, which means I'm never going to be able to go any faster than whatever speed I can do both strokes myself. This is why it's called the double stroke roll instead of the double bounce roll, because you're doing 2 controlled strokes. So this is why it's possible to do doubles on any surface. But yeah, you do have a speed limit when you don't have rebound. But still wrist strokes. So in a sense, you can do some doubles without sticks. But you're not going to be able to go any faster than what your wrists are capable of doing for both strokes per hand, But when you have rebound, the first stroke is bounced in. When you do the first stroke of the 2, the stick is bounced into position so that you can execute the second stroke right away, or like a lot sooner. So then you can it just becomes this effortless single motion. It's nothing to it. Especially when you're not me and you've worked your butt off on it and you maintained your skills with it. But the muscle memory is still there and the muscles are still strong enough that I can kind of do it now. But it's nowhere near where I used to be when I got obsessed over this and all excited and I went, oh, doubles. But I don't use doubles when I play. So I kind of stopped doing it. So there's nothing I play that uses doubles, and I just haven't used it for anything. I've never found a spot in any songs that the band I'm in plays where I can do doubles. It's just, and it's the kind of music I'm attracted to playing. Just doesn't really use doubles. So it's kind of one of those things where I got excited about it, mastered doubles for a bit, and then I went and became stupid and stopped doing the exercises every day. And well, any skill, if you don't use it, you lose it. But I still kind of got it, at least in my right hand. Fortunately, because then I wouldn't be teaching this. But yeah, so with rebound, and I have a ton of it, now, there was a time that what got me into to being obsessed with doubles was I started to teach this exercise in videos about a year ago or more, and when I started teaching the exercise, I only knew how to do the exercise. I didn't have doubles worked out, and I just knew how to do the exercise, and that was it. So I was only able to do the exercise. I couldn't demonstrate at all. And so I was only exercising my right hand. And eventually my right hand gained the ability to just go like this. That's what got me excited. I went, well, holy cow, it took me like about a month to get there or more. I was doing videos for people like every day for a while. And so I was doing this exercise almost every single day. And it takes me hours to do one video sometimes because I just want that perfect take, with no major mess ups. I'm such a perfectionist, But anyway, so I tried to use the muscle memory. This is what I was trying to. This is the whole point of what I was trying to get to the point of saying is I had this idea. Well, okay, I know what I'm doing here. My left hand can't even do this at all. I can't even do the exercise, but can I do this in my left hand very easily, even just by using the muscle memory and applying it to my left hand? Nope. Couldn't do it. The muscles, everything was just like, it was like what I imagined learning how to walk to feel like. as an adult. Like learning how to walk all over again. It was just, my left hand was like, what? You're asking me to do this? I don't even know how to do it yet. My muscles aren't even capable of doing this. Stop making me do this. Yeah. So then I decided to do the exercises every single day with emphasis on, with a huge emphasis on my left hand, while my right hand would sometimes just sit here doing nothing. Watching movies, TV series, drumming YouTube videos, just whatever would pass the time a little bit or whatever would entertain me while I'm doing the exercises. My right hand would be sitting here doing nothing. My left hand would be exercising. And then one day, my left hand started to feel a lot better. After, again, it was about a month or so, maybe a few weeks. And I looked down, and it was turning. And then it stopped once I became aware of it. So I thought, I'm getting some benefits here. It's really working. And eventually, I was like, oh, look at that. And I kept going, and it got... Yeah, so long story short, I had doubles pretty well mastered for a bit, and now I'm back to mostly just my right hand being good at it. Yeah, so don't be like me. Keep working on things you've developed, because, that's kind of the name of the game. After you've developed a skill, you have to maintain it. And it doesn't get maintained by just using it musically on a regular basis, because it can, in a sense, but if you keep working on it actively in your practice sessions, then you can keep the skill at a very high level, instead of it slowly atrophying for, a few years. And actually, that's what happened to me with something. I don't want to waste too much time here telling the story, but it was with the heel-toe technique. I learned it for just my right foot, not for both feet, as most people do today. I used a lesson that I found over 20 years ago on heel toe, just to get the ability to do certain bass drum things, that I wanted to be able to do. And I got to the point where my heel toe technique was amazing, in my opinion. I was able to do things that just floored me with just one foot, like 3 super fast notes in a row right before a snare drum hit, like most people would use a double bass pedal for. Sometimes I would do that on purpose, or sometimes I would do like a rocking motion over and over and over to get like 4 strokes in a row, or sometimes only 3. But today, I didn't keep working on the exercises. Once I developed it to that level, I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. No one ever told me that you got to keep maintaining your skills. So I didn't know this. So I said, okay, good. I achieved my goal, and now I'm done with the exercises. Now I got this thing developed, and I'm good to go. Well, years went by, and I slowly, it slowly got to the point where now I'm only limited to what I use heel toe for the most, which is usually like, bass drum patterns where you get that sound of like doom da ba doom doom da boom da ba doom doom da doom doom da, like 2 notes in a row usually. I don't really go where you would use a double pedal for that. I was able to do it with my right foot in the beginning, like I said. Now I can't do it. I kind of can, but not like I used to. The muscles have literally kind of atrophied. I remember the muscle memory. I remember how to do it. But yeah, so yeah, it's true for anything. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. If you don't keep maintaining the skills, yeah, you'll be in trouble. So anyway, I guess that's everything. I'm gonna pause the recording again to kind of make sure, I'm gonna go through my thoughts and just make sure there's nothing I skipped that's critically important. Well, maybe there's one thing. So you may have noticed that when I'm doing doubles, I'm not holding between the index and thumb. It's sort of, with the index finger kind of unbent. This is something that happened to me while recording a video for someone. So in the beginning, I thought that the index and thumb were required for doubles. I thought it was 2 finger control strokes. Wait. Which I can't even really do it the way that I thought it was being done. So I didn't notice that I was doing 2 wrist strokes. I didn't notice that when, in Dave Weckel's lesson and Thomas Lang's lesson and other lessons I've seen on this, I didn't notice it was 2 wrist strokes. But you can use the index finger fulcrum. Just don't squeeze. Then it can look like you're using the fingers to make the stick move, but it's 2 wrist strokes. A little gentle grip between the index and thumb. And eventually, it might get to a point where the index finger can stop being used. Especially when you really get it going. If I keep my index finger involved, it just increases the effort by decreasing the efficiency of how this works. It can happen. There's nothing preventing me from doing it this way with the index finger fulcrum. But with the unbent index finger, it becomes the middle finger fulcrum, and then it's just the back 3 fingers helping me do the wrist strokes. When it's actually just 1 stroke with rebound. With no rebound, it kind of requires the index finger fulcrum. I guess I should have done the demonstration on my leg instead of my bed. I'm sitting more comfortably, so I'm able to. My hand is more comfortable now. Because I was standing over there, I was struggling. Very minimal rebound, and yet so, yeah. With enough work, you can get far better. You can get far better than what I'm getting. So I'm just giving you what you need to know to go as far as you want with it. Yeah. So when I'm doing this with no rebound, I have to have the index and the thumb kind of gently, lightly, loosely, whatever, gripping the stick a little bit. And I stress a little bit. That helps the back 3 fingers do what they need to do to help my wrist be as easy to use as possible. But there's also a little bit of this going on, I think. This little sort of thing. And then like the fingers kind of help. It's a thing. I don't know. Just kind of all works together. Oh, maybe it does turn a little bit. I just haven't noticed it because I'm always doing from the side. See, I never pay attention, but okay. Okay, now I'm too aware of it. But then with rebound, using the index finger with rebound increases the effort. Or it's more effort than it is with the index finger unbent. I don't know why, or I know why, but I don't know what words to use to explain it. It's weird. It's just one of those things in life. You have to feel it for yourself, and then you can say, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe because the stick has all this freedom to move. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry. Oh, yeah, it's kind of one of those days where everything is kind of funny. I'm trying to keep it serious, but yeah. You can't be serious at all times, right? All right, then. So, yep, be patient. It'll come. Just be persistent. Just say, be like, okay, body, you're going to do this whether you like it or not, eventually. And then it'll respond and it'll develop the muscles for you day by day, week by week. And eventually you're no longer having to muscle it out. You still want to do the exercises every day, but, performing the doubles will be much easier. And then incorporating those doubles with like various sticking patterns and whatnot, like a simple paradiddle, it can become, it's a matter of practicing it to develop the muscle memory, so that, you got the right, left, left, left. So you got those doubles in there. So the muscle memory is where you're able to go between the singles and doubles kind of automatically by using the muscle memory there. Okay, so I'm glad I paused it to gather my thoughts to make sure I didn't skip something important, because shoot, that was pretty important, I think. So I don't want to leave you hanging and wondering what the heck app I'm using. So in case you're wondering, it's called Clippy Cam. I'm not trying to advertise it, but I just feel like if I were watching this and someone said, "Oh, I can pause the recording," I'd be like, "Well, I can't pause it. How do you do that?" I went looking for the best app for iPhone that can pause recordings, and I found many, and this was the one I liked the most, and so I bought it. It's free at first, but there are features that are unlocked, kind of, if you buy it. No, I'm wrong. Only 2 things change when you buy it. That's right. I'm thinking of a different one that has features that are unlocked if you buy it. This one, if you buy it, 2 things change. If you pay for the cheapest version, you can remove the watermark on all your videos. Which one comes first with the cheaper one? There are watermarks, and then there are advertisements. So like, I paid for I paid $9.99, $10 for it, and it removed the watermarks and the ads. I think its watermarks are removed at the $5 or $3 or whatever it was price, and then like the $10 price removes the watermarks as well. And then there's a new one now where it's like $30 and it unlocks some fancy features that I don't care for. For content creators to help reduce the upload size of their videos, and I would like that, but I'm not doing this enough that I need to pay $30 for a freaking app just so I can unpause. All right, just so I can pause and unpause recordings, and also forget how to speak and all that good stuff. It has some other cool features that I like to use, but anyway, so that's it. That's my whole lesson. I hope that you succeed in pushing yourself to do these exercises, or to do this exercise every day. And I hope that this stick flip thing enables you to do everything else with minimal effort, because that's what's going to happen. Just flip it and use it. And remember, don't be too close to the butt ends of the sticks or too far away. Find that sweet spot. But flip it and use it. Flip it and use it. Don't squeeze. Don't let your fingers become relaxed either. Keep that index finger like that. Keep it open. Don't close it. Palm sideways for doubles. Finger control, which is just basically that. Notice there's no squeeze or anything between the index and thumb. It's just wrist strokes. So yeah, keep it simple, you know? Don't overthink too much. Don't overthink things too much, rather. It helps to think before you speak, apparently, but yeah, anyway, so. All right, I'm done. That's my whole thing. If you have any questions at all, you know, if there's anything that's confusing or if you want me to try to explain something differently or whatever, yeah, you're completely free to ask anything that you need to ask. So just let me know. I'm always here for you. So, all right, catch you later.